Stop scrolling. Your next coding interview question might be, given a nested list of integers, return the sum of each integer in the nested list multiplied by its depth. I'd love to run through a few examples of what a nested list could look like. Simply put, it's an array of integers, just like so. And the depth of an integer is how deep it is in the array. Here are the depth values of each integer in this example. The first array will have a depth of 2, followed by the element with a depth of 1, and the second array with a depth of 2 once again. And in this case, this is the total sum. Is it possible for the nested list to be empty? Great, I don't have to worry about an empty use case since a nested list must have a size of at least 1. Is it safe to assume that I can use an existing nested list interface for this problem, or should I create one? Great, I'll assume that the interface already exists. I'm ready to start thinking of a solution. To calculate the depth sum of an element, I would need to know how deep the element is located in the array. Going deeper and deeper sounds like a recursive problem. Every recursive stack can represent the depth value of the element. This is a depth first search problem. Going back to this example, I'll iterate through the list, and when I encounter another array, I'll recursively call the function to calculate the sum. And then when I encounter an integer, I'll simply calculate the sum. For every recursive call, I'll need to know the depth value and what array to calculate the depth sum for. So I'll create a depth sum helper function that takes in a depth value and an array as its input. It'll also be important for me to increment depth for every recursive call to keep track of how deep we are in the nested array. The main function will call the helper function with a depth value of 1 to kick off the recursive call. Let me validate my solution. It works! In summary, I'll return the total sum of each integer multiplied by its depth value through recursion. For every nested array, I'll recursively call the function to keep track of the depth and calculate the sum. Here's my code.